To throw the first pitch.
Pack your bags, Red Sox fans, because the Red Sox are off the Cape today as YD checks their bags with the gateman of Wareham.
Good.
Hello and welcome. Alongside Will Connerly, I'm Brad Klein. Happy to be with you down the third base line here in Wareham at Spillane Field. And the fourth game of the season for YD. They are cruising right now, 2-0-1. That one tie in the opener, Will. And right now, a 3-2 win. That's what they're coming off of. They beat the Rain, and they beat the Anglers, largely in part because of the pitching.
The pitching was incredible last night. Dom Bukowski pitched the ball very well last night, threw a lot of changeups in the strike zone, and that's what we've seen, Brad, from the pitching staff. They've been able to get effective outs. The starters have given them length. They haven't had to burn many relievers in those situations where you're struggling. You're trying to find different guys to piece things together. The pitching staff has got it done so far this season for Coach Pickler.
Well, so far this season, Coach Pickler has only seen 3 earned runs allowed in 3 games, and Briley Knight has also been a real sweet spot for this roster, coming off the heels of a 3-run bases-clearing double that really broke that game open and put YD in the driver's seat yesterday. And as a reward, we're now seeing him in the 2-hole.
Got moved up in the lineup, and Brad, the game before that at White House Field, he was instrumental in that game as well, had a run driven in, also was part of a double play from the outfield, gutting a guy out late in the game, hitting second in the lineup today, had that bases clearing double on his birthday, instrumental in that comeback as well. So back-to-back games, he's played good on both sides of the ball for Coach Pickler. He's playing really well these past 2 games.
Briley Knight in just a few minutes will face off against Ian Levers, the righty from Cal, getting the nod today for the gateman.
Yeah, a pitcher who has a fastball slider mix. 80% of the time you'll either see the fastball or the slider out of Villers. 6'6", 240, pretty big frame out of Cal. And the junior has some good stuff. And talking with the Gateman broadcasters before this game, they said they hadn't seen him yet, but he looked pretty good in the preseason when they saw him pitch a little bit in some scrimmages, and he was pretty effective. So they're excited to see the stuff that he has out of Cal Berkeley.
Well, expect to see a lot of different stuff. Fastball, cutter, split change, slider, changeup, and the curveball as well. So we'll see what Livers has to offer. And then also, you can't talk about this game without talking about Adam Meyer as well for YD, getting his first appearance as a Red Sox. We'll see him in about a few minutes. We'll see how long it takes YD to get 3 outs here. But Peyton Graham starts for the Red Sox in the top of the first inning.
Yeah, Graham's been playing really well recently, leading things off today. But he's been really nice in the field, like the way he swings the bat as well, and like that now he's the table setter today for Coach Pickler.
4 for 10 on the young season. Ian Livers from Cal steps off the mound already, just making sure everyone's set.
No, I think it's good. I don't think it matters.
Rubs his right index finger on the back of the mound.
I did my best that I could. They would have been taller.
And Villers working from the stretch. The righty deals. Swing and a miss. The changeup, and Peyton Graham was way ahead of it. Now, Graham, we've seen him pretty much everywhere on the left side of the field. Third base and left field has been doing a good job defensively everywhere. Yesterday, singled in the second inning, was 1 for 3. Scored a run in the second inning, too. He was that first run. No balls and 2 strikes now as the fastball is down the middle. And Graham pops it up, shallow left center field. Coming on is Gonzalez, and he's waved off by the shortstop Jeffries for out number 1.
Yeah, Jeffries going back to make that play. And, Brad, when those balls are popped up in shallow center field, shallow left field, rather, for the shortstop, you're going back on it. First play of the game. You just had taken in and out. You got to go back on those balls and get a good read on those, because as a shortstop and any infielder, those infield pop-ups can be difficult to catch.
So here's Briley Knight, and as we said just a minute ago, that 3-run double that really put him on the map for Red Sox fans. First pitch swinging on the fastball, bouncer to the right side. Jarvis, the second baseman, backhands it and fires it over to first in time. Out number 2.
The shortstop, number 22.
Yeah, Knight aggressive in that at-bat. He's up in the order. He's been putting together some solid at-bats, putting things in the right direction, but it's Villers who's able to get a couple quick outs here in the top of the first.
So some quick work here for the starter Villers. Just 3 pitches and 2 outs. And the 3-hitter Brooks Lee, a switch hitter, hitting from the left side against the righty Villers, takes the first pitch fastball at the knees for strike 1. Well, Lee has really done a good job as a Red Sox as he avoids the fastball inside for ball 1. Almost hit him in the knee. Lee is 6 for 12 as a Red Sox. Had that 4 for 5 day 1, the opener. And he pops it up to the left side on the 1-1 count. Into the outfield, Diodati, the left fielder, makes the grab. Side retired. So the Red Sox go down in order, 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. And in the middle of the first, still no score between the Red Sox and the Gatemen. This break brought to you by Curry College, because Curry College is where you go to become anything you want to be. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs, NCAA Division III athletics, and continuing education and graduate studies, including fifth-year master's programs. Visit them at www.curry.edu.
Intimidating actions directed at
Back here on YD Red Sox baseball, Brian Klein and Will Connerly, glad to be with you from Spillane Field. And Adam Meyer making his first appearance as a Red Sox. First pitch fastball in the dirt for ball 1. Now the righty from the University of British Columbia, the Canadian, pitching for the first time since March of 2020.
Yeah, really excited to see how he throws here today. First outing, of course, of the season in a very long time, so the nerves, of course, in effect, but he has some really good stuff.
Missed low on the second pitch fastball for ball 2, and the third pitch fastball whacked into center field on the ground, base hit. And Tyler Williams scoops it up. It's a leadoff single for Jim Jarvis, his 4th hit of the season.
from Georgia Tech.
Meyer with some good stuff. The slider, he says, is his best pitch. Fastball can be in the low 90s. From Canada, he's very excited to pitch on the Cape Cod this summer.
Well, I was talking to a lot of the players about Adam Meyer, and they had 2 things to say about him. As the first pitch fastball to Tres Gonzalez is in there for strike 1.
If one of you wants to take this.
Number 1, they say he's the nicest guy on the team. This is the guy who could never hurt a fly. That's number 1. And number 2, he's nasty. Absolutely nasty. He kind of turns that mode off when he comes to the rubber. No balls and a strike now to Tres Gonzalez, 2 for 7 with an RBI on the season. Jim Jarvis, the second baseman, dancing off the bag, and Meyer checks him back with a quick move, but he's safe.
Brad, some of the nastiest pitchers, they can be the nicest guys, but in between those lines, the ultimate competitor comes out in some people. Excited to see that today from Meyer.
Meyer again on the pickoff, and just in time, Jim Jarvis getting back to first. That one was really close, and actually Meyer anticipating the move by Jarvis to take his primary lead and just acknowledged, hey, I'm going to catch him off balance. He did, but just missed him by half a step. The 0-1 to Gonzalez, high and tight, chin music avoided for ball one. And now Jim Jarvis, after a couple of dives back to first, he has an icky uniform, I guess you could say, as he again dirties that uniform on the dive back. But it's stone dust that we're playing on in the infield here. It's a mix between gravel and your typical baseball diamond dirt. But it has a grayish black color instead of what you're typically seeing, especially in the CCBL, as the fastball misses way high for ball two.
It's very interesting. It's the color you described, the gray, it's in between the lines, but the mound in home plate, that's more of the dirt color, but then the base paths in the infield, it's more of that gray color.
2 balls and a strike. Meyer from the stretch. Runner goes. Slider is a broken bat dribbler to the right side. Hoffman with one glove throws it over to first in time for out number 1, but the runner advances to second base. Jim Jarvis in scoring position with one gone.
From Alabama.
And Jarvis, he was aiming to go. He was getting a decent lead. Meyer was checking on him, and then that pitch, he went off to the races, and it works as, okay, yeah, you hit the little dribbler to second, but if you're the hitter, if you're Wareham, hey, it was in a productive at-bat. I moved a guy up 90 feet to put him in scoring position.
Here's Owen Diodati with one out, and nubs the changeup back to the screen for strike one. He hit .230 with 11 home runs this past season at Alabama. From Ontario, so 2 Canadians in the CCBL going against one another. Should be noted, though, he had 11 home runs. 3 of them were grand slams this past year. The 0-1 taken just above the letters. Fastball missed again for ball one. Well, actually, that's something that we've seen a lot of so far, Will, is that Adam Meyer has had trouble keeping that fastball down. He's elevated a lot of them early in the count.
And that sometimes can be a mechanical issue. You're not staying back long enough and not pulling through the pitch, and it's an easy adjustment to make.
Runner goes for third, and the pitch out. Fastball missed wide, and Cade Hunter was off balance, didn't even bother with a throw. Jim Jarvis is on third base thanks to his legs. 2 balls and a strike with one gone, and Wareham has a prime opportunity on Adam Meyer.
With just one out here in the bottom of the first, it is a great opportunity. You're Wareham, you want to jump on this. Looks like Whitey's going to bring the infield in.
Already bringing the infield in the first inning. Well, Scott Pickler a little apprehensive about his offense keeping up. Just had 3 hits yesterday. Granted, they did score 3 runs. Fastball on the inside corner for strike 2.
Really want to put away Diodati here.
Diodati 2 for 8 on the season.
Look for this slider here. No, that's his out pitch.
2 balls and 2 strikes. With one gone, runner on third. Meyer deals. And the front door slider poked foul out of play down the left field line. Well, it should also be noted, I said poked. It looked like a poke, but Diodati has a lot of power. We talk about those 11 home runs. That ball just kept on carrying and carrying and carrying. And a loud, loud foul ball to tread water. Meyer comes set at the belt from the stretch and steps off. Now with a 6:45 first pitch here in Wareham, the sun is yet to set and the shadows are intrusive in the 60 feet and 6 inches between the mound and the plate as a little nubber chopped foul to the right side by the Wareham dugout, so we'll do it again. But it's kind of like a Dodger Stadium shadow come playoff time in those day games where you really have the pitcher is in the sunlight and the hitter is in the shade and about, I would say, 30 feet away from the rubber. That's where the shadow really starts to come in. 2-2, smack down the left field line. That falls for a base hit. Jarvis comes around to score, and Owen Diodati stomps on first base with a one-out RBI single. The Gatemen lead 1-0 in the first inning.
The third baseman, number 15, Justin Williams from Penn State.
So Meyer scraped up early on. Brings up Justin Williams from Penn State, also 2 for 8 coming into this game on the year. Runner on first, that's Owen Diodati after a single to left field just a minute ago. First pitch fastball misses low, ball 1.
And that was a good at-bat. He had multiple foul balls off of Meyer and then took the slider to left field, brought a runner in. It was a good at-bat, good piece of hitting off of Meyer, and they manufacture a run in the bottom of the first.
Very modest lead for Diodati at first base, and the 0-1 nicks the zone, count even now.
But it is that shadow that is interesting. The ball changes colors on the way to the plate. It's in the sun and in the shade.
And the 1-1 smack to right field. Knight is calling it off, shielding the sun. Backpedals to make the catch for out number 2. So Owen Diodati was about 30 feet off of first base before retreating back. And Briley Knight records the second out, brings up Ted Burton, the designated hitter. Burton making his first start of the season for Wareham. Was hit by a pitch and ended up scoring a run earlier this season as a pinch hitter. Slider on the first pitch and a swing and a miss by Burton. So it seems like Meyer's starting to settle down a little bit. He did say that he might have some nerves actually walking onto the rubber, but by the time the first pitch is actually thrown, baseball is baseball, it's just a game, and he wasn't too nervous about his layover. Again, March of 2020 is the last time he played competitive baseball as a little dribbler in the dirt. Kate Hunter tried to backhand it, but couldn't really corral it, and now Justin Williams, no, make that Diodati, is on second base, defensive indifference.
The second time, though, that the Gatemen have tried to run, whether or not they get the stolen base, they ran and then a pitch was fouled away. Diodati running right there, and they want to test Hunter early on.
Diodati in scoring position with 2 outs. And the 1-1. Fastball chopped up the middle. Brooks Lee ranges to his left and tosses over to first in time. Side retired. 1 run, 2 hits, and a runner left. Wareham strikes first. It's 1-0 Gatemen at the end of the first inning. This break brought to you by Curry College. Earn a bachelor's or master's degree, complete a certificate, or take a single course through the Division of Continuing Education and Graduate Studies at Curry College. In-person and high-flex classes run days, evenings, and weekends in Milton and Plymouth. To learn more about programs in business, accounting, criminal justice, education, nursing, and more, visit curry.edu. Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein and Will Connerly, glad to be with you. And YD trails. That's something that we haven't said much this year. 1-0. Adam Meyer got scraped up with 2 singles. Left a runner on base, though, and Chase Luttrell trying to pick him up.
Well, Brad, they were trailing yesterday before Briley Knight had that bases clearing double, taking the lead. So
actually, you know what? Now that you say it, they were trailing as well in the opener. Ended up tying in on the backdoor cover, I guess you could say, and the 1-0 to Luttrell is chased. Actually was sitting on the fastball, got a changeup instead. So the count even now at 1-1.
I'm excited to see Chase lay into a ball. I know he has a ton of pop, swinging it from the left side.
And the pitcher Villers steps off the rubber. Now the shade is something to monitor all day, and it's starting to trickle onto the mound as well, onto the back end of that mound, as Luttrell leads off the second inning with a single up the middle into center field.
Yeah, and before the game, we learned, Luttrell is a guy who has some of the most bat speed on the team, and he showed it right there. Got the bat through the zone at a really high level, quick, and he put that single on a rope. It was a hard-hit single up the middle to center field.
So here's Drew Compton. I was watching him take batting practice before the game, and he hit an absolute rope to right center field. And I heard him go, ah. As the pass ball gets away from Crooks, the slider just missed, and because of that, Luttrell advances to second, no throw. Goes back to the backstop, Crooks picks it up, and all of a sudden, YD inherits a runner in scoring position with no one out for Compton. But he kind of had a sigh of disappointment, like, I missed it. And I looked at him and I said, if that's an unsuccessful swing, what does success look like? And he told me anything that goes over the fence.
That's great.
The 1-0 from Compton, number right back to us. Over to the dugout for a YD down the third base line. Actually, the good news is we're elevated here. We call it the treehouse. They actually gave us a ladder. I cut my hand on it getting up here. So now I have this Band-Aid on my palm, but
where'd you get the Band-Aid from?
The athletic trainer.
Shout out to
you got to go
staff.
to the pros.
Yes.
So because of the elevation, we're safe and sound, but the YD players had to shield themselves there because that was a rope off the bat by Compton.
But not only the elevation, we have the netting as well. It should elevate, if a foul ball should elevate, we're still protected, Brad.
But I still flinched. What does that say about me?
I guess that's for the listeners to decide.
1 ball and 1 strike now to Compton. And Villers with the changeup. It's popped up to the infield, fielded cleanly by Jeffries on a fly. A pop out to the shortstop, the first out of the inning, and one away with a runner in scoring position. Chase Luttrell still on second base. Cade Hunter, the catcher, comes up to the plate 0 for 9 on the year.
That's interesting, though, about Compton. Anything that goes over the fence, the only definition for success. But really does, when you do watch him have batting practice, his swing is just so great. It's fun to watch him just swing the bat.
And with 1 out, Compton waves at the changeup for strike 1. Cade Hunter. Catcher from Virginia Tech, a lefty who's actually seen a lot of action against other lefties, and that's because YD is only carrying 1 active, can absolutely, why not play today catcher. And I was talking a little bit to head coach, Coach Pickler, and he told me that if he needed Fernando Gonzalez to play, then you could play him. But there's no reason to rush him. YD has an off day tomorrow and expects Gonzalez to be 100% after that, dealing with a bit of a wrist issue, nothing major. Could swing, doesn't really want him to swing, but could definitely catch. No balls and 2 strikes after the fastball at the knees, and Hunter chops it up the middle. The second baseman Jarvis to his right, one hand, and fires over to first in time. Out number 2, and Chase Luttrell scurries over to third.
In catchers, you really don't know how they feel towards the end of their college seasons a lot of times. Catchers get beat up more than any other player. A lot of times they can have nagging injuries because a ball nips off them later in the year. You don't know how they feel, so you never want to rush a catcher back, especially when you're going to play so much throughout the summer.
So here's Tyler Williams. 0 for 3 in his YD career. Fastball misses high above the shoulders for ball 1. YD trails 1-0 after the first inning run pieced together on Adam Meyer. Top of the second inning, YD with a runner on third and 2 outs. And Williams swings and flies it out to deep left center field. Gonzalez, the center fielder, retreating and makes the catch over his right shoulder. Side retired. Well, no runs, 1 hit and a runner left. In the middle of the second, YD still trails 1-0. And this break brought to you by the Salty Dog Group. Hey, Sox fans, have you ever thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Sheminski of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for home buying and even selling. Call Emily Sheminski at 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com.
Number 8, Jimmy Crooks.
Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein alongside Will Connerly. Bottom of the second inning, and the YD Red Sox trail 1-0. Adam Meyer on for his second inning of work. The starter seeing his first action in his young YD career. And the catcher, Jimmy Crooks, 1 for 3 on the year as the leadoff hitter. Fastball misses low and away for ball 1.
You get the inning under your belt, and Meyer let up a couple of base knocks or hits, and see if he can't settle in here in the second.
Well, Meyer allowed 2 singles, one to Jim Jarvis to start the game and another to Owen Diodati, the 3-hitter. And that one is sky to deep center field. Williams chasing, retreating on the track. He makes the catch for out number 1, a long out number 1. To say the least.
First baseman number 24, Angelo Despina from Mercer.
Brings up Angelo Despina, the Mercer product, 0 for 7 on the season. So he gave up the 2 singles, but also had a passed ball that allowed Diodati from first to go to second base, and that was even more stress. And you talk a lot about that pitch count is not something that you should be talking about with Adam Meyer right now. It's the second inning, but stress pitches are something that a lot of pitching coaches and a lot of pitchers are paying a lot of attention to throughout the game.
You can throw 50 pitches that is more stressful than 90 pitches if the 50 pitches come in 2 innings rather than the 90 over 7 or 8. So it's absolutely correct. And also, like you said, runners on base. We're having to work in stressful situations where you're trying to make pitches. It definitely can be tougher on pitchers' arms.
2 fastballs, 1 down the middle, 1 inside, and the third pitch fastball misses by the shoulders for ball 2.
And it's interesting, another thing that I've seen recently in the major leagues causing pitchers stress is they're getting checked as they walk off the mound, Brad. You see that?
Yeah, it's something that Meyer probably won't have to worry about as a line drive into left center field falls for a base hit, a 1-out single, maybe a double. Despina trying to stretch it. It was bobbled by the center fielder Williams, and Despina is on second base with a 1-out double.
The right
Do
fielder.
they give that the straight up double there? Or do you think air with a single with the air on the advancement to second base?
We're still waiting on the
It's
official
official,
scoring
yeah.
here. It was hit into the gap, and Despina runs very well, something that you have to take into consideration. By the way, 6'5". There is a lot of man on second base, and he runs very well. So Despina on either way with a base hit, and with one out in scoring position for Cade Kern, the right fielder, looking for his first hit as well. Wareham looking for their first win of the season. They were canceled last night due to rain. YD was able to squeak it in. 8, and we'll call it a half innings played, maybe even a little less. Despina with a healthy lead off of second base. Meyer from the stretch deals on the 0-1. A sliced foul out of play down the first base line.
Foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn Hannington and his daughter Tevis.
So Kern, the outfielder from Ohio State, hit .325, tied for 9th in the Big Ten this past season. 30 RBIs, and a prime RBI situation here. No balls, 2 strikes, and Kern watches the fastball sail high over his brow, ball 1.
Tried to elevate that fastball a little bit more than he had the previous fastballs. Has been primarily missing high. He intended to go high there, but that was well out of the zone.
A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out. Despina on second base, and Meyer steps off the rubber to check him back, and Lee could not even get back to second base in time to apply a tag, so no throw. By the way, this shade is really trickling onto the field in a hurry. Now the entire mound is covered, and the plate is still covered, so really shouldn't be an issue between the hitter and pitcher. The 1-2 in the dirt, checked his swing. Did he go? No.
Was a pretty good slider, but also a nice block by Cade Hunter to keep that in front of him because of the fact that Despina would have been on third if he didn't.
We haven't seen Meyer try to throw the slider as a strike that much. He's really established the fastball, or at least tried to, in the zone, and the slider has been his wipeout pitch.
And it's been hit a few times, letting up 3 singles, 2 of which have come on the slider.
2-2. Fastball is whacked to deep left center field. Williams is chasing Smith as well, and Williams makes the grab on the warning track. Despina tags up from second base, and a long second out here in the bottom of the second inning for Wareham.
I'll tell you what, Williams twice this inning has had to move to catch a ball, but that out, he had to move a long way, Brad, to catch that one. He has a ton of speed. He made it look easy. He was waiting for that ball, but he ran all the way back to the fence from center field. He made that look easy. He was waiting for that ball, but he had to travel a long way. He's pretty quick.
So now a runner on third base for the 9th hitter, Cody Jeffries, a shortstop, 3 for 7 on the year. Meyer from the stretch deals fastball just high by the letters, ball 1. Well, Cody Jeffries with the bat on his shoulder, YD trails 1-0. Wareham with a runner on third and 2 outs, and the slider clips the zone, the lower half for strike 1. Cody Jeffries had a breakout 2021, hit .341 for San Diego, 3rd in the West Coast League. And a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 2. So he hit .231 in 2020 and .341 in 21. This past season, a .417 on base, 10th in the conference. He really shined now in the 9th hole in a big spot. Ground ball sharply hit to the right side. Hoffman fields it cleanly. On to first in time. Side retired. Well, no runs on 1 hit and 1 left on. At the end of 2, Adam Meyer has allowed 1 run, and Wareham leads 1-0. This break is brought to you by Curry College, because Curry College is where you go to become anything you want. Curry prepares students to engage in successful careers with learning beyond the classroom. Explore undergraduate programs including new majors in sport and recreation management, graphic design, marketing, and computer science online at www.curry.edu.
From Oregon.
Back for the start of the top of the third. I'm Will Connerly alongside Brad Klein and the YD Red Sox here at Wareham. In the top of the third, Tanner Smith, Wyatt Hoffman, and Peyton Graham due up for the Red Sox, trailing 1-0. And the first pitch foul down the right field line. First base line gloved by Despina at first, but it was foul.
In the CCBL, everyone is a prospect, and part of being a prospect is the physical stature. Despina is one of those players who really struck me at 6'5". The way he was able to round the bases, the way he ran with his frame, it was very impressive. And he has some room to grow into as well, and that's the kind of guy I can see as having a very successful career physically.
That pitch is spiked, and it looks like it caught the mask of the home plate umpire. So Crooks, the catcher, going to go give a quick talk to his pitcher. After that one hit down on the dirt, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Brad, you talk about size. That's what Ian Villers has as well, 6'6", 240, out of California, Berkeley. And that's the right-handed pitcher that the YD Red Sox are facing in his third inning of work right now, working from the stretch in the high fastball. Misses for ball 2. So 1 miss way low, and that one went high beyond the glove of Crooks to the backstop. So 2 balls and a strike. The Red Sox trailing by a run. It was the gateman who scored in the bottom of the first. And the pitch misses inside for a ball. Tanner Smith, the left fielder, swinging it from the left side with the green batting gloves. Of course, representing his school colors, Brad.
The New York Jets?
Not the New York Jets. And a swing and a miss on the 3-1 pitch, running the count full.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tanner Smith has really struggled. The Oregonian, by the way. And I think YD really needs him to be successful. 0 for 9 on the year, but if he can get on base, his speed would be invaluable for a struggling offense.
And the 3-2 to Smith, and he fouls it away. We'll do it again. Villers, 6'6", big frame, the right-handed pitcher out of Walnut Creek, California. 4-1 with a 2.84 earned run average in 29 appearances during his college career. He was an all Pac-12 honorable mention this past season. That ball hit towards the left side, tracking for its Diodati in left, and it is down. Gonna be extra bases for Smith. He lands himself on second base. You wanted Tanner Smith to get going. Well, he did right there with a double to lead off the top of the third.
It's a game of inches. Absolute game of inches, and only the second extra base hit of the year comes from Tanner Smith, and he runs very well. For whatever reason, the lefty wrapped that one down the right field line. That's at least 3 bases, and I gotta say, it's about time, because Tanner Smith, you read the college stats, you read the college attributes, he is more than capable, and he's showing you why.
Tanner Smith led the Pac-12 with 23 doubles, a new record for Oregon in a single season. Was a third-team All-American, has himself a double to lead off the third, and a swing and a miss on the first offering. Hoffman, the 9th place hitter in the lineup, playing second base today for Coach Pickler. 0-1 the count. So no stranger to getting the doubles. Gets one there down the left field line. It was hanging up there for a while. Wasn't sure if it was going to be fair or foul, but it's down. And he finds himself on second base. Prime opportunity for Whitey. Hoffman squares to bunt. He gets it down. Villers runs up the first base line to get it, gloves it, throws it over to first. But meanwhile, Smith advances 90 feet over to third base with one away, and Peyton Graham, the leadoff hitter, now to the plate. So good execution by Hoffman to get the bunt down and move the runner up.
I love that. I love that move by Pickler to give Hoffman the bunt sign. I'm assuming it came from the dugout. If not, then kudos to Hoffman for really a heads-up play, acknowledging, okay, we're only down by 1. You have to trust the pitchers. They've been so good this year, and now it's time to just tie the game, put a runner in scoring position, well, rather a runner 90 feet away for the top of the order.
And here comes Peyton Graham batting leadoff today, playing third base, popped out to the shortstop last time against Villers to lead off the game, and he swings and a miss on a first offering from Villers. 0-1 the count here with one away, and Smith on third base. So Graham, and the pitch from Villers misses low and in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Graham looking to get the job done, trying to find any way he can to bring in Tanner Smith, who led off the top of the third with a double. Now on third base with Graham at the plate, 1 out. And the 1-1 from Villers. Graham pops it up on the infield. Despina, called off by the shortstop Jeffress, and he catches it for the second out. So just what Villers wanted, a pop out to the outfield, that's a run, a ground out to the infield, that's a run. He either wanted an infield pop out or the strikeout. He got it on Graham popping out to the infield for the second time this game to the shortstop, and there's 2 away.
So a couple things on that play. One, that is the shortstop's ball. The shortstop should be considered the center fielder of the infield. If he can make the play, then he should make the play. Assuming it's not completely on the right side of the infield, it's his play to make, and he called everyone off. Good move. That being said, a great play by Jarvis, the second baseman, to listen up, and when he heard the shortstop, Jeffress, come on and call him off, he covered second base, so if that ball was dropped, there would be someone on second base shielding a runner in scoring position.
Riley Knight at the plate, swings on the second offering from Villers. A foul ball as it's back and out of the glove of Crooks. So 1 ball and 1 strike here with 2 away. Tanner Smith led off the third with a double. Hoffman then bunted over Smith to third, and Graham popped up. Riley Knight, the right fielder, who grounded out to second base last time at the plate. And therefore a strike on the outside black for 1 ball and 2 strikes now.
Should also be noted that Peyton Graham was as hot as could be going into this game. 2 pop-outs, both to the shortstop in his first 2 at-bats.
And the leadoff for Coach Pickler. The 1-2, swing and a miss, and Villers gets out of it, works around the leadoff double from Tanner Smith, and the gateman on top of the Red Sox. We send it to the bottom of the third next on the YD Red Sox Network. Hey fans, Devadyme is the official website development company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our league best website and help us run with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Devadyme helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out devadyme.com to learn more and be sure to like Devadyme on Facebook. That's devadyme.com. As we're back with you here for the bottom of the third, Meyer for another inning of work. Is the right-handed pitcher working on the mound in his debut today, getting the nod, and now working in his third inning. Gets the ground ball to the right side. Hoffman gloves it at second, throws it over, but it's a wild throw toward the Wareham dugout, and that's going to be an error on Hoffman. Had the ball, gloved it quickly, but then threw it away. So the E4 to start off the bottom of the third, rather, and another runner aboard here against the right-handed pitcher.
All right, kids, this is why it's important to run down the first base line. Hoffman had a play, and there was no real reason that he should have felt rushed, but he was rushed because Jarvis was running hard. And if he wasn't running hard, he wasn't going to be rushed, etc. He would have been out. He would have been in the dugout. But Hoffman saw, okay, this guy's actually chugging it down the 90, so let me try to rush my throw, and it was wide.
The first pitch into Trace Gonzalez misses outside. 2 for 8 on the season with 1 run driven in and 1 walk drawn. And batting here with Jarvis at first base. Meyer paid close attention to Jarvis back in the first, had many looks over to first base, over to Luttrell, and he just did a look over right there with good speed at first from Jarvis, and that's in there for a strike. The fastball right at the knees on the outside corner. So 1 ball and 1 strike with Jarvis at first. Came around to score, singled back in the first. The lone run for Wareham here in the bottom of the third. They have a 1-0 lead. Gonzalez playing center field today, grounded out to second base last time at the plate. Meyer mainly with the fastball slider, can mix in the change as well. And the pitch. It's up out of the strike zone. 2 balls and a strike as Meyer's working here against Gonzalez. About 7:35 p.m. right now here in Wareham. Spillane Field, and the Shadows started the game, and it was just home plate that was covered, but now most of the field engulfed in the shadows, Brad.
Most of the infield. The outfield is still actually very tricky because some of the light structures are providing some shade and not enough to consider it shaded. So there are some areas that are shaded and some are not. And to me, you go back to that Tyler Williams play on the warning track in the last frame. To me, yeah, he ran a long way, but that was the most impressive part. The fact that he was able to track it the entire way. The fact that there's shade, there's not shade, the ball is changing colors.
Meyer with another check over on Jarvis at first base, who reached on the E4 to begin the bottom of the third. He dives back and is in time.
And Jarvis is going to need some club soda, OxyClean, something after this game. I mean, with the dirt and the infield, the color it is, his uniform is ruined.
Meyer comes set, kicks and delivers, swing and a miss on Gonzalez for the second strike. The count runs full, and yes, the white Gateman uniforms with the red lettering filled in. Gateman across the chest, the button-ups, going to be pretty dirty, that combination after diving here on the gray dirt.
That's really on them, though, for wearing white during a home game.
YD in the red uniforms with the white pants, and it's ball 4. Jarvis was off with the pitch, slides into second, but it advances to second with the free pass from Meyer. So an error on Hoffman, the second baseman, a free pass issued to Gonzalez, and that brings runners on first and second. Nobody out here in the bottom of the third. The Gateman already with a 1-run lead, and Owen Diodati comes to the plate. got a single and stolen base back in the first. Rather was on the defensive indifference, but 2 for 8 coming into this game on the season with a home run and 3 runs driven in, also a double. So good power, and you mentioned he had a pretty good spring as well this past year, so that warranted a quick mound visit from the YD Red Sox.
Yeah, Tom Vasello, the pitching coach, comes out to talk to Meyer, and you can read the body language. At first, at the beginning of that mound visit, Meyer's shoulders were up. He was tense, but now it looked like Vasello was able to calm him down a little bit. He was pressing, still no one out. He really hasn't been able to locate that slider all day, and that's really his bread and butter.
See if he can't locate it here. Meyer comes set against Diodati, steps off, wants to take a peek over at Jarvis on second. Wareham with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the third, as Meyer gets the signs from Cade Hunter. Runners on first and second and nobody out. The 3-hole Diodati at the plate. And the pitch misses low and outside for ball 1. Meyer paying close attention to the lead runner Jarvis at second base. Gonzalez, trail runner at first, reached on the free pass. An error and a walk. And runners on first and second, nobody out. And Meyer wants to take a check on Gonzalez at second. Throws it over to Brooks Lee. Dives back, but with plenty of time.
There's a part of me that feels like there is a limit. I know that Jarvis runs very well, and you don't want to give up an inch, but you have to focus on the hitter at hand. Still no one out, and there's a reason.
And the foul ball looks like it may have clipped Hunter a bit. But the strike on the foul ball makes it a ball and a strike. Here against Diodati, runners on first and second. As Meyer trying to work out of a jam here in the bottom of the third. Kicks and delivers. That ball struck well towards right field. It has a chance. It's gone. A 3-run home run for Owen Diodati, and the Gatemen go on top 4-0 in the bottom of the third. A blast off of the bat of Owen Diodati, and the slugger crushed it from the left side to right field for a 3-run shot. An error, a walk, and then a home run clears the bases, and the Gatemen lead 4-0.
Well, if you're Adam Meyer, you're going to look at the score sheet, and it's going to say 1 hit allowed in the first 3 batters. But I think the way that he was not able to focus on the hitter and ended up leaving a slider middle for Diodati, that's what really cost him. Yeah, the defense wasn't good behind you, and sure, you did give up a free base runner with the walk.
That ball chopped to the right side. Meyer gloves it, steps on first base himself, and there's one away. Aggressive Justin Williams on the play, but chopped it to the right side, and Meyer is able to record the out. The one unassisted, but it was Diodati who had the dagger in this inning, a 3 spot. Thanks to him, he had the 3-run blast, had 11 home runs at Alabama this past spring. You knew he had the power, got a pitch he could handle, and he crushed it to right field. And you talked about the air, the walk, and then the home run. Meyer was paying close attention to Jarvis when he was at first and then second, and then comes home off of the bat of the home run from Diodati. That ball struck to third base. Peyton Graham gloves it, throws it across the diamond, and Ted Burton is retired for the second time. He's grounded out to the left side, and there's 2 away. Jimmy Crooks now to the plate for Wareham.
Jimmy Crooks from Oklahoma.
Oh, nice play by Peyton Graham there to hacky sack the ball. Looked like he might have lost possession of it, but stuck with the play. And I could hear Peyton Graham actually before that pitch was encouraging Adam Meyer to say, hey, here you go, man. Good pitch. You're still in it. Trying to eager him on and trying to cheer for him just to make sure that he gets through this jam, and you can't even call it a jam now because no one on, but he does not really have his stuff.
Grounded to the right side. Hoffman backhands it, throws it over to first. The scoop is made by Luttrell, and a nice play by Hoffman to end the bottom of the third, but not before Owen Diodati hits a 3-run home run. The freshman All-American from Alabama puts Wareham up 4-0. We send it to the fourth on the YD Red Sox Network. Back for the start of the fourth inning, a 4-run lead for Wareham, up 4-0 after the 3-run home run coming off the bat of Owen Diodati last inning. An error, a walk, and then a 3-run blast. And the first offering to Brooks Lee, a swing and a miss. Villers fooled him on the breaking ball in the dirt. 0-1 the count. Brooks Lee, Chase Luttrell, and Drew Compton due up for the Red Sox here in the top of the fourth. As Villers comes set, kicks and delivers. Misses low and inside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brooks Lee popped out to left field last time in the first inning. That's a strike right there. Right at the knees on the outside corner. A ball and 2 strikes. As Villers is now in his 4th inning of work, facing Brooks Lee. Comes set and the 1-2 pitch. Lee grounds it to the shortstop, Jeffress, who throws it over to Despina at first, and there's 1 out here in the top of the 4th. He got Brooks Lee on the first pitch on the breaking ball, came inside with the low fastball, and then kind of on a half swing, Brooks Lee had the bat out there, but then grounded it over to the left side, 1 away.
Lee not putting great swings up here in his first 2 at-bats, but you can never count him out. He always has some more left in him, and YD knows that he is always a dangerous hitter.
And so is Chase Luttrell. Had a good swing last time at the plate. Led off the second with a well-hit single to center field. First pitch, a ball from Villers, 1 ball and no strikes. Here in the top of the 4th, a 4-run advantage for the Gatemen. Villers comes set and delivers the pitch, and it misses low. 2 balls and no strikes. Luttrell with some good power from the left side, playing first base today. And a friendly 2 balls and no strikes count here as Villers comes set at the hip. Kicks, delivers, swing and a miss. And he went to the breaking ball. The slider is his go-to pitch, and he threw it right there on a 2 ball, no strike count in the dirt and got Luttrell to swing. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
Now that's the point, right? Bounce your best breaking ball when the hitter is most eager. And the hitter is going to be most eager at 2-0, 3-1. Those hitters counts, I should say. And a great decision there by Villers.
2 balls and a strike here with 1 out, nobody on in the 4th. And it misses inside. It's the YD Red Sox at the plate here in the top of the 4th. And trying to respond, put some runs on the board after the 3-run shot by Wareham last inning, and they have a 4-0 lead. That pitch is inside, and now the 3-1 from Villers. That ball popped toward the left side. Coming in on it is Diodati, and he catches it for the 2nd out here in the top of the 4th. That brings up Drew Compton to the plate, who popped up to the shortstop Jeffries last time. So 2 away, and Compton, the designated hitter, at the plate. A lot of lefties in the lineup today for the Red Sox here against the right-hander. The 6'6", 240-pound righty out of California, Berkeley. Ian Villers been working on the mound in his 4th frame of work. Now facing off against Drew Compton. Ball misses low and inside. 1 ball, no strikes. On the first offering to Compton. Compton swinging it from the left side, switch hitter out of Georgia Tech. Hit .294 this past season at Georgia Tech. Check swing, says he did not go around, so 2 balls and no strikes. Here with 2 outs in the top of the 4th. Compton had a big hit in the opener against Brewster that gave YD 2 runs driven in, and their comeback to salvage the tie. And there's a strike on a 2-0 pitch from Villers.
That's a low strike, too, and Compton was not happy with the call.
Great.
You see Crooks on those low pitches, tries to bring them up, and that's typically the idea for a catcher, to come up on the ball when you want to frame it. And the 2-1 swing and a miss by Compton, so now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I really like the patience of Viller, and it has nothing to do with pace. He's fallen behind 2-0 twice in this inning, and both times he's gone low. Make the other player, the hitter, chase when he is most vulnerable as an urgent player.
Villers kicks the 2-2, a swing and a miss, and Villers a 1-2-3-4th responding after Wareham takes a 4-0 lead off the home run. In the top half, he sets YD down in order in the bottom half. And we send it to the next inning on the YD Red Sox Network. Back for the bottom of the fourth. I'm alongside Brad Klein. I'm Will Connerly, and YD trailing 4-0. The 3-run home run back in the bottom of the third, and Meyer back out for his fourth inning of work here in the bottom of the fourth. Despina, Kern, and Jeffress. He's going to face off in the Gateman lineup.
So as a pitcher, there are two types of innings that have an utmost importance.
That ball's hit to Williams in center field. Had to move just a few steps to his right. He gloves it, and Despina is retired. Get to that thought. There's important innings, you said.
Two types. One is a shutdown inning. Your team scores, you need to respond with a 0. And the other is a comeback inning. Adam Meyer did not have his stuff in the last frame, was not able to pinpoint that slider. And without the slider, there's really nothing that hitters are really shivering about when Adam Meyer is on the rubber. Now, the good news for Meyer is typically that slider is unhindered, but for whatever reason, he was not able to use it effectively. We'll see if it comes back here. But now, after giving up 3 runs, can he keep his composure, and can he come back with a big 0 to keep YD in the game?
Meyer out of the wind. Misses high, facing off here against Cade Kern, who popped out to Williams last time. Williams has been getting some good action in center field. He's already caught 3 balls patrolling center field today. And we're in the bottom of the fourth. Meyer kicks and delivers. And the broken bat over to Graham at third. Backhands it, throws it across the diamond. And a nice play by Graham at the hot corner. Had to make a strong throw across the diamond. And it was Kern who's going to have to get some new lumber. The broken bat went to the shortstop, Brooks Lee. And he handed it over to Graham, who's going to toss it
Number 10, Cody
over
from San Diego.
to the YD dugout, but a nice play by Graham right there.
Unbelievable play, and Graham made the conscious decision to play it on a hop. He did not try to charge in, and it was probably a business decision because you never know what kind of splinters are flying at you with so much lumber shattered on contact. So he just made sure, play the hop on a short hop, kind of like a first baseman picking it out of the dirt, and he read the weird, interesting dirt very well and made a nice throw over to first.
The 0-1 pitch, fouled back, hits off Hunter and goes back towards the fence. Cody Jeffress at the plate, the shortstop. Had 3 hits coming into this game. Hitting 9th in the order here for Wareham, and in the second, grounded out to Hoffman, who made a really nice backhanded play.
But I'll tell you what, just going back to Graham, it's only the 4th game. I'm running out of superlatives with his defense. I'm really, really impressed. And the other thing is, I know he can be better. There have been a couple of plays where he kicked the ball around a little bit, maybe trying to be a little too flashy, but he's really starting to settle in now.
And the 1-2 misses low in the dirt, makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs. Nobody on in the bottom of the fourth. Meyer working here against Cody Jeffress, the shortstop. Looking for a clean inning, Brad. You talked about the comeback inning. Can he get it here? He does. He caught Jeffress looking, and Meyer tosses up a 0 in the bottom of the fourth. To the 5th we go. Wareham 4, YD 0, and we'll see you on the other side of the break. Back with you for the 5th inning here at Wareham. The YD Red Sox trailing 4-0. Wareham scored a run in the bottom of the 1st, and they scored 3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Here in the top of the 5th, the Red Sox here at the plate. Cade Hunter, Tyler Williams, and Tanner Smith due up in the lineup for YD. And the first offering from new hurler into the game, Cole Simus on the mound from Fresno, California. San Diego State is where he plays his college ball. And a nifty play by the shortstop. Dives, tosses it over, and Cade Hunter is retired. And that was a nice play by Jeffries, the shortstop for Wareham. A great play over there at short. And there's one away. A nice way to greet a new pitcher into the game. Simus getting some good defense on the first batter he sees.
Yeah, and I almost think that if it had been any other player, almost any other player on the roster, then YD would have a leadoff base runner. You give me Tyler Williams a little bit more speed, because it did take Jeffers a little while to turn that around, but he did. It was a great play, great balance.
Simus filling up the zone. And the breaking ball in there for a strike. So a quick 0-2 hole here for Tyler Williams, the center fielder at the plate. And the pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike. So 3 pitches puts down Williams, and the San Diego State right-hander 2 quick outs. He was 0-1 with a 9 earned run average in 15 appearances, 16 innings, 25 strikeouts, 16 walks, and a .329 batting average against. He spent his freshman year at Fresno City College and COVID sophomore year at San Diego State. Had a 2.45 ERA with 11 innings pitched and 15 strikeouts in the 2020 shortened COVID year. As that ball's fouled back, Tanner Smith at the plate, doubled last time to lead off the 3rd, but YD not able to bring him in. He got all the way to 3rd base, but then was left there. And here in the top of the 5th, 2 quick outs here for the reliever, Simus. And the 1-1 pitch misses high. Simus, though, baseball runs in the family. His father, Bill Simus, played for the White Sox from '95 to 2000. Working here on the rubber. 2 balls and a strike here to Tanner Smith, the left fielder. And that pitch misses low and outside. Makes it 3 balls and a strike here with 2 away and nobody on in the top of the 5th. YD looking to start a rally here with 2 outs. The delivery from Simus is called a strike inside. Smith had to back up a bit, but must have nipped the inside black, so a full count now here with 2 outs.
That's the 3rd time that Simus has really nipped that black.
And the 3-2 fouled toward the Wareham dugout, as Smith got a piece of it over to the right side. He fouled it away, so we'll do the full count pitch again. Simus, 6'1", 190. He kicks and delivers the 3-2. A swing and a miss, so a quick inning of work for Simus, the reliever. Back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. And 9 in a row for the YD Red Sox at the plate have been retired. We send it to the bottom of the 5th, next on the YD Red Sox Network.
go on that.
Jim Jarvis, Trace Gonzalez, and Owen Diodati due up for the Gateman as Adam Meyer out for his fifth inning of work. He let up a 3-spot in the third, but responded with a 1-2-3 fourth, and in the bottom of the fifth, YD trailing 4-0, but their starting pitcher on the mound trying to complete his fifth inning of work against the top of the order, Jarvis, Gonzalez, and Diodati. And 2 quick strikes from Meyer, nothing into the count here against Jarvis, who has been on base twice, singled in the first and reached on an error and scored in the third. 2 runs scored today for the Gatemen. The 0-2 pitch misses low and away, gets away from Hunter, the catcher.
I'll tell you what, Will. That is the most I've seen a hitter choke up in a very long time. I mean, he's got basically room for another hand on the end of the bat.
He does. He chokes up, widens the stance, and grounds it over to Meyer, gloves it, and flips it over to first base. So he choked up to get a piece of it, but still retired as Meyer makes a nice play with the glove. Thought for a second that may have trickled into the glove of Hoffman, but Meyer cuts it off, flips it to first, 1 away.
That's a really, really big deal. That's a huge out for Adam Meyer because Jarvis has really been a thorn in his side all day. Reached on a single to start the game, scored a run, reached on an error in the third, scored a run. And that is a lot of speed that you do not have to account for on the base paths right now. A lot of stress relieved for Adam Meyer.
And Adam Meyer, who hadn't pitched in a game since March of 2020, working here in the fifth. 7 straight retired for the right-hander Adam Meyer from the University of British Columbia. Coming from Canada, pitching here in the Cape Cod League, and nothing into the count, but he's really found a groove. Had that blemish in the third with the air walk and home run in the 3 spot, but then retired the next 3 hitters, set down the side in order in the 4th, and got his first hitter here in the 5th, make it second hitter. A swing and a miss. Hunter throws it down to first, blocks it, and a strikeout for Gonzalez. A nasty slider that he threw, and he gets Gonzalez. So now 8 straight retired for Meyer, doing a fine job, and he settled in a little bit, and now he's going to face Owen Diodati, and we'll see if he doesn't approach this at-bat with a little vengeance. Diodati took him yard, a 3-run home run back in the 3rd last time at the plate. And a swing and a miss, a foul ball on the first offering. Looks like it may have caught a little bit of Cade Hunter.
I'll tell you what, it's probably Adam Meyer's last inning just because of there are only a certain amount of innings to be played and you need to get some arms in there. But 69 pitches for Adam Meyer, and in my opinion, it looks like he can go even longer. The only thing is 69 pitches. He has a lot of those stress pitches that we started talking about very early in the game. In the first inning, in fact, when he gave up a run, and then in the third, there were some more stress pitches. So 69 might be a false reading on where Adam Meyer is right now.
We'll see what Pickler decides to do. Has retired 8 in a row, and a 0-1 count here to Diodati, who's 2 for 2 with the home run, 3 runs driven in. But ever since this home run, he's worked through the order with no struggle. As Meyer out of the wind, the 0-1. Low and away. Gets away from Hunter for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike here with 2 outs. Wareham here in the bottom of the 5th to the plate. 4-0 lead they have. With 2 outs, the 1-1. And it's grounded to the right side. Hoffman goes over to get it in short right field. Meyer to first. He scoops it. And Adam Meyer's found a groove. 9 in a row set down for the right-hander. YD trailing 4-0, but they come to the plate next in the 6th on the YD Red Sox Network.
Scouts. There are scouts right behind the catcher with radar guns watching every pitch and analyzing every pitch. And after every pitch, whether it's a good one or a bad one, all of those scouts write something down on their notepad. You don't know what it is, but something is being written down. Every pitcher is being analyzed under a microscope. But that being said, while Meyer's stat line doesn't look great right now, in a way, it's actually a more impressive performance because he didn't melt down and he was able to continue the pitch at a very high level.
The 2-2 to Hoffman, a swing and a miss, and they throw it around the horn, getting Hoffman swinging. So this reliever who's come in and pitched really well, Cole Simas, has done a nice job out of the bullpen. His third consecutive strikeout that he has recorded, had 2 to end the 5th and gets one here to start the 6th.
Now, YD has really hit a dry spell, and they've been prone to these multiple inning droughts offensively.
4 straight retired for Simas, and working here with a 4-0 lead for Wareham. Peyton Graham at the plate has popped out to the shortstop twice. He's 0 for 2. Fouls that one back, makes it a ball and a strike. Here with 1 out in the top of the 6th. A 4-run deficit for the YD Red Sox. They've won 2 games in a row, tied in the first game of the season. Wareham looking for its first win of the year. They lost to Katuitt on opening day, fell to Falmouth on Monday, but was rained out yesterday. Game was canceled, and they're not making those rainouts up this year. And strike 3 called. Peyton Graham is rung up, and that now brings up Briley Knight. 2 outs. 4 consecutive strikeouts here for the right-hander. He's really throwing the ball effectively. Cole Simas out of San Diego State University. Now Briley Knight to the plate, 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
You kind of feel like this is why Briley Knight is hitting second today. Not because he's 0 for 2 with a strikeout, but because this is a chance for him to be a table setter. Getting on with 2 outs, sure, it could be tough, but you have Brooks Lee right behind you and a chance to make your mark.
And Briley Knight hits this one well toward right field, caught by Kern in right. And 6 up, 6 down for the right-hander from San Diego State out of the bullpen, Cole Simas, and it's a 4-0 lead for Wareham. We go to the bottom of the 6th next on the YD Red Sox Network. Back for the bottom of the 6th, new right-handed pitcher into the game for the YD Red Sox, Sam Beck. He will head to the University of San Francisco as a graduate transfer with 2 years of eligibility remaining So he's going to spend 2 years at the University of San Francisco, but now entering the game here in the bottom of the sixth. 5 innings of work for Meyer, but he retired the last 9 hitters he faced. And the first pitch for Beck is a strike, facing off against Justin Williams, who's 0 for 2. Beck, 6'3", 200, from New Jersey. Was at Lynn University, sat out this past year with a medical red shirt. Had a few procedures done on his arm, sat out with the medical red shirt, played in the shortened COVID season. That's when he got hurt, and spent this season with the medical red shirt, so he could retain a few years of eligibility when he'll head to San Francisco. So he's moved around to a few different colleges, was at Skidmore College, then transferred to Lynn, a Division II in the Sunshine State Conference, one of the premier D2 conferences, and now heading to San Francisco, pitching on the Cape here this summer. And the 1-2 pitch here to Williams, and it misses outside the zone, so evens the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And Sam Beck also broke in a few innings in the PGCBL out in New York.
And that ball's hit to right field, drops in front of Knight. 1 bounce to the right fielder. He gloves it, but it's a single for Justin Williams. And that's the first knock for Wareham, first runner aboard since the 3rd. It had been 9 consecutive retired from Meyer. His night's over, though, and it's Beck who's out of the bullpen, now working with a runner on base here in the bottom of the 6th. Ted Burton now to the plate.
Working with the Mohawk Valley Diamond Dogs in the PGCBL out in Little Falls, New York. Just a chance for him to get a few innings before he does on the Cape.
You can keep that foul ball, courtesy of attorney Glenn.
And Sam, being a graduate transfer, going to pursue a master's and also have 2 years to play baseball. Burton at the plate from Michigan, hit .342, which was 5th in the Big Ten this past season. And now makes it 1 ball and 1 strike after the offering from Beck misses low and inside. Justin Williams on first base. He had the single to right field. Ted Burton, the designated hitter, at the plate. And the 1-1 misses inside. Burton from Huntington Beach, California, 6'2", 180. Hit pretty well in the Big Ten this past season. That pitch misses low. 3 balls and a strike now as Beck looking to find a way to get back in the zone here to Burton. The runner on first is Williams. Beck comes set and delivers the pitch. It's in there for a strike. 3 balls and 2 strikes. A 4-0 lead here for Wareham in the bottom of the 6th. And Beck is working here with a runner on first base. And Justin Williams, who got the single. And the 3-2. That ball hit toward left field, shallow left field, behind the shortstop Brooks Lee, who was backtracking for it, and well in front of the left fielder Smith. So a little bloop single, and there's runners on first and second, and nobody out.
And you have to figure, if anyone can make that play, it's Brooks Lee. And he actually got a pretty good jump on it, but just had a little too much on it, and Lee couldn't catch up. Sam Beck now the victim of a little bloop, and now in trouble with no one gone.
If Brooks Lee can't get to it, no shortstop probably will. Had a .974 fielding percentage, which was one of the highest in the nation, especially for a shortstop. They get the most opportunities. And Beck now first offering to Crooks, misses low in the dirt. So 1 ball, no strikes. Runners on first and second, nobody out. Wareham had this situation in the 3rd, and Owen Diodati deposited a ball over the right field fence to take a 4-0 lead. That's where the score stands now in the bottom of the 6th. Runners on first and second, nobody out the pitch, and it's fouled away out of play. 1 ball and 1 strike now. Here to Jimmy Crooks, the catcher for Wareham. Crooks plays at Oklahoma, had 10 home runs this past season. hit .284. And the 1-1 after a look at the runner. The breaking ball grounded to the right side. Hoffman over to short. Brooks Lee not going to take a chance on going to first base, but Hoffman with the quick turn over to Brooks Lee. They do knock off Burton off the base paths, who was at first. So Burton's off the base paths. Crooks reaches first. He's the one who grounded the ball to Hoffman, reaches aboard on the fielder's choice. And Williams advances to third. So runners on first and third with one out. And now Angelo Despina comes to the plate. And also Coach Pickler comes to the mound. There's going to be a visit.
He hasn't signaled for the bullpen yet.
And now he does. So Coach Pickler to the pen. Beck. So relief appearance is out. And here with one away, runners on the corners, it's a pitching change for the YD Red Sox. We'll tell you about that pitcher on the other side of this break next on the YD Red Sox Network. So pitching change for the YD Red Sox here in the bottom of the sixth. They trail 4-0. Runners on the corners and one away. Beck was the pitcher, but now the left-hander Ross Dunn into the game from Florida State. And his first appearance here as a Red Sox, and it comes in the bottom of the sixth. Runners on the corners and one out here against Angelo Despina, who's 1 for 2 today.
And I actually thought Sam Beck didn't pitch too badly. You know, this is his first appearance on the Cape, and one could argue the biggest appearance of his career, coming from D3 to D2 to D1, and now not only are you playing D1, but you're playing in the Premier Collegiate Summer Baseball League there is. So Beck held his own. There was a bloop over Brooks Lee at short that could have been caught and was just, millimeters away in terms of the strike zone from being caught if Beck had located it a little differently, but that's just bad luck.
And they got the ground ball.
And he got the ground ball, and a lot of people here in the ballpark, I think, were expecting Brooks Lee to turn two, and in part because Lee does everything defensively very well, but he didn't even make a throw, and I think the main reason was he didn't have his balance off of the slide and did not want to throw the ball away and create extra damage for this pitching staff. They've already been through so much in terms of the fielders behind them being responsible for the unearned runs.
So Coach Pickler makes the pitching change. The left-hander Ross Dunn out of Florida State from Salt Lake City, Utah. Just the third player in Florida State history from the state of Utah. 12 games, 1 start, and a 2.13 earned run average in 12 2/3 innings pitched this past year for the Seminoles. Runners on the corners, here with one away. Despina at the plate. And the first pitch misses low from the reliever. So coming in, working in a jam with one out, runners on first and third. YD trailing 4-0. And Ross Dunn out of the bullpen trying to keep it there. Bottom of the sixth. And Despina at the plate. Dunn comes set at the hip and takes a check over on first base at Crooks, and he gets back with plenty of time. Crooks the runner at first, Williams the runner at third. Wareham with a 4-0 lead, and Dunn on the mound making his first appearance of the season. The lefty out of Florida State gets the signs from Hunter and delivers the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss, and a good fastball there from Dunn. As Despina was tardy, make it 1 ball and 1 strike.
And we don't have the benefit of a radar gun, but there were a lot of oohs and ahs here in the ballpark after that fastball. He dialed it up, and also it had a little bit of spin on it, so it got a little up. It was an elevating fastball, creating the illusion of even more velocity.
The 6'3", 225-pound lefty takes another look over at first base, but Crooks is back in time. 1 ball, 1 strike here with 1 out. Bottom of the 6th, YD trying to work out of a jam. They go to the lefty out of the pen to face Angelo Despina, the first baseman, but also swinging it from the left side, looking for the favorable lefty-lefty matchup. And Dunn delivers the pitch, in there for a strike, goes with the off-speed, and now it's 1 ball and 2 strikes, and looking to make work of Despina as he's working with Hunter on the sides. Despina in the box as Dunn comes set. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss, and a strikeout for the left-hander Dunn. He went fastball, then off-speed, and gets the breaking ball to have Despina swing through it. And the first batter he sees with runners on the corners and 1 out of the bullpen gets the lefty to strike out. Now 2 away and just 1 out away, 1 pitch away from getting out of this jam.
Yeah, potentially, and the biggest fan right now of Ross Dunn's is Sam Beck over in the dugout. Saw him clap a little bit more than I think you typically would see a Red Sox clap after that strikeout. Remember, both runners belong to Beck.
And Cade Kern at the plate from Ohio State, hit .325. Tied for 9th in the Big Ten. That ball scoots away from Hunter. It was a swing and a miss on a slider. Got away from Hunter. Crooks, the runner at first, advanced up to second. Williams was at third, took a few steps toward home, but Hunter got there in time. So that moves runners to second and third here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. But nothing in 1 is the count after Cade Kern swung through the breaking ball in the dirt. That scooted away from Hunter. So Dunn now working with runners on second and third here against Cade Kern, who's 0 for 2 today. Dunn was the #1 left-handed pitcher out of the state of Utah coming out of high school. And that ball hit toward center field. Williams coming in on it, dives, but it's out of the leather. 2 runs come across, and it's a 2 RBI single for Cade Kern. Williams can cover some ground. He dove for it, but it hit off the glove and went out of the glove down to the grass. 2 runs come across, and now it's a 6-0 lead for the Wareham Gatemen.
Well, Williams took a pretty good path to that ball. It was hit right on the nose and had a lot of topspin, so he knew he had to catch up to it and just missed. He actually had some nice extension, too. So there you go. 2 runs, both belonging to Sam Beck there. And Yarmouth Dennis down by 6.
Cody Jeffress now to the plate. And working here against Dunn, who has featured some good stuff. Just had 12 2/3 innings tossed this past year, but only allowed 3 earned runs, 15 strikeouts, 11 walks. So 16 groundouts and 15 strikeouts for the lefty, 5 flyouts. That's the distribution of outs the left-hander had this past season. But he had 10 straight scoreless outings in an 11-inning span. So the left-hander comes set. 1 ball, no strikes here against Jeffress. And he looks over once again at Kern, who came through with the 2 RBI base hit toward center field. And Williams really can cover a lot of real estate out in the outfield, but couldn't quite get to that ball. He dove for it, but out of the glove, and 2 runs came across in Justin Williams and Jimmy Crooks. And Dunn places that ball in the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike here with 2 outs. It was 1 run in the bottom of the first, 3 on a 3-run home run in the third, and 2 here in the bottom of the 6th. A 6-0 lead for the Gatemen here over the Red Sox. And Dunn working out of the pen, the third pitcher Whitey has used today. Hunter blocks it, throws it down to second, but not in time. Cade Kern will take second. And a 6-0 advantage for Wareham. 2 balls and a strike is the count here with 2 outs. And the shortstop Jeffries at the plate, 0 for 2 today, has 3 hits on the season through 2 previous games played for Wareham after being canceled yesterday due to rain. And the 2-1, the delivery from Dunn, it's high out of the strike zone now, 3 balls and a strike. Dunn has a brother, Oliver, who played baseball at the University of Utah. He was drafted in the 11th round of the 2019 MLB draft. He takes another look over at second in a closer play this time, but Cade Kern got back in the nick of time. Brooks Lee applied the tag, and it was a closer play on the pickoff move from the lefty at second base.
Actually, I've been very impressed with the way all of the pitchers for YD that have actually applied a pickoff move have been so quick to the bag. Adam Meyer had a couple of really good moves that were really close.
And the pitch, it's a foul ball, and Drew Thorpe, who actually picked off a batter to end the first inning when a few games ago. So you've seen that the pitchers, they haven't been reluctant at all to go and check on the runners, hold the runners. It's a huge part of the game. Have to keep those runners close, don't want them running. And now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes here with 2 outs. Dunn comes set and takes a peek and delivers the pitch to Jeffries. A swing and a miss, so Dunn gets the strikeout. But now before 2 come across for Wareham, we send it to the 7th. A 6-0 lead for the Gatemen. We'll see you next on the YD Red Sox Network.
From Cal Poly.
Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein and Will Connerly here in the top of the 7th inning. YD with some ground to cover. They trail Yarmouth, or rather Wareham, by 6, and Brooks Lee leading off the frame for the scoreless Red Sox. Cole Simus is still on the bump for the Gatemen. 6 up and 6 down so far for the righty. He has been impenetrable. And the first pitch fastball misses outside for ball 1 to Lee. Second pitch skips low by the ankles, so 2-0 the count to Brooks Lee. Lee, the switch hitter from Cal Poly, 0 for 2 on the day. Started yesterday's game 0 for 2, but singled in his third at-bat. And Lee chops it foul back to the screen, 2 balls and a strike. So Lee now in a 2-1 count, starting off this frame, and with more insight, our social media manager Hannah joins the broadcast. Hannah, how are we?
Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Well, we're just trying to see if Yarmouth can come back here. 2 balls and 2 strikes now as Lee swings through the slider.
Lee has been so much fun to watch. He's been doing awesome, so I have faith in this at-bat.
Righty deals on 2-2, and Lee goes down swinging, chase the changeup. 1 gone here in the top of the 7th.
Now coming up to bat number 6.
Chase Luttrell is here, and he's 1 for 2 on the day. Luttrell from Long Beach State, but he is number 6. That's right.
Yep. It's my debut on a broadcast, so first pitch.
Is it everything you dreamed of?
It's pretty fun. I can hear.
You can hear yourself.
Yeah. First pitch was a strike.
It was.
Yep.
No balls in the strike now to Luttrell. And the Long Beach State dirtbagger lines it up the middle into center field, a base hit. A 1-out single for Chase Luttrell, his 2nd hit of the day. He really struggled yesterday, 2 double plays for the lefty, but bouncing back in a big way against the right-handed pitchers.
Bouncing back, he is on first base. We have 1 out, and number 25, Drew Compton, is now batting.
Drew Compton from Berkeley Heights, New Jersey, about 20 minutes outside of my hometown of Millburn, but the 3rd consecutive lefty that Simus is facing. Lee, the switch hitter, and then Luttrell, and now Compton. Compton 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout in the 4th, chopped it foul on the first pitch slider. So a runner on first for Yarmouth Dennis. Down by 6 in the top of the 7th. And another slider. This one clips the zone, 0-2. Well, Compton, the sophomore from Georgia Tech, is a spectator as Luttrell dives back into first on the throw over. 1 for 7 on the year. So Hannah, a big moment right now for YD. If they get 2 outs here, they really have their backs against the wall, and a changeup just misses inside. A nice take by Compton, a ball and 2 strikes. Cole Simus, the righty, looking back over his left shoulder, checking back Chase Luttrell at first, kicks and deals, and the 1-2 in the dirt, the slider, but chased by Compton. Strike 3 on the swing, 2 gone.
How do you say Pass's name?
So Pascal Ferreras now at the dish, a pinch hitter for Cade Hunter, the catcher. So his night is done, and that's actually a very interesting move because YD only has 2 catchers on the roster right now, Cade Hunter and Fernando Gonzalez. Hannah, we haven't seen Gonzalez yet, dealing with a bit of a wrist issue, so we'll see if today is when he debuts.
Pascal Ferreras from Western Carolina.
So, Hannah, I have to say, just as an observer of your broadcast debut, as Ferreras takes the breaking ball for strike 1, you put on the headset, jaw dropped, okay? And I think it was because of the reverb in your ear. Am I right?
I did not see that coming. I never had a headset on like
So
this.
here's my question, though. Here's my question.
Second pitch is...
No, we haven't had a second pitch. It's coming up, though. No balls in a strike still to Ferreras. Here's my question, though.
1 second.
If you were thrown off by the whole I hear myself thing, what did you think we were listening to?
I'm not sure, but I was going to say will be back in a moment, and I will be leaving this broadcast, so no worries to the listeners. This will probably be my first and last time.
But on the count now to Ferreras.
I was going to say the second pitch was a ball.
So you still didn't answer my question.
Oh, sorry. What was your question?
Well, what did you think I was listening to here? As Ferreras chops it to the left side, the shortstop Jeffress charging and firing in time. Side retired. A dime of a throw by Pascal, or rather against Pascal Ferreras by Jeffress. And YD goes down after 4 batters. In the middle of the 7th, it's stretch time here in Wareham. YD still trails by 6, but Hannah, you're not off the hook. Answer the question.
What was your question again?
What were we listening to, if not ourselves? You were shocked when you heard yourself.
I know. I honestly have no idea.
Coldplay? You think Will was listening to Coldplay?
I mean, I don't know. It's pretty cool to The audio is really great.
Yeah.
So, yep. I'm going to
Why don't you take us to break? We have
Okay.
a Curry College break right here. Actually, no. This break is brought to you by Milton Cat. Is that right?
For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and machine engines, visit miltoncat.com, your area cat leader. Milton Cat, the Cape and Islands Caterpillar dealer, is proud to be a sponsor of today's game. With that, I give my space back to Will Connerly, who is our actual broadcaster. Also, if you're listening to this, make sure you follow us on Instagram at YD Red Sox CCBL. I am the social media manager.
You know what we call that plug?
What?
Shameless. Back here in the bottom of the 7th inning, Brad Klein and, there's Waldo, Will Connerly, back on the broadcast. And Will, how are we?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm well. I'm a little shook by the Hannah cameo. I was not expecting that today when I rolled out of the bed. A ball and no strikes now as Ross Dunn, the lefty, is on for his second inning of work. Where'd you go?
What were you expecting?
I missed you.
What were you
I was
expecting when
expecting
you got out of
9
bed?
innings with my good pal Will, and I got, 8 and change?
8 and change. That's what we got last night, too. Couldn't get the last 2 outs in the 9th because of the rain, so we've been getting shortchanged lately, I guess.
2 fastballs and a changeup all missed the zone for Ross Dunn here in the bottom of the 7th inning against the leadoff man Jim Jarvis, who is 1 for 2 on the day, reached base twice, a single and an error, scored 2 runs as well. And a fourth pitch fastball nicks the zone for strike 1. 3 balls and a strike. And Dunn, the lefty, deals. Jarvis pops it up, foul ground, out of play.
But it was the bathroom, to answer your
Okay.
question.
You know what? I respect that. A lot of people would have lied, Oh, I was out. I was making a donation to my favorite charity. Anything else besides I was in the bathroom.
Yeah, and I
But I
came
respect
back
the
in
honesty.
good time, but I was enjoying the interview.
Payoff pitch to the choking up Jarvis, and no swing needed. Jarvis is on board with a leadoff walk in the bottom of the 7th. Fastball sailed way high, about a foot over his head, and it had to stand the catcher up. And that catcher is Fernando Gonzalez in relief of Cade Hunter, who was replaced by Ferreras as a pinch hitter. This is the first we're seeing of Gonzalez.
Yeah, interested to see, of course, with the catching situation that the YD Red Sox have and how they mix and match. Of course, catchers, they do take a beating. They're in there. They're squatting for 9 innings. It's nice to have multiple at your disposal. And, of course, something, Brad, we haven't talked about is there's going to be some more reinforcements coming the YD Red Sox way after the completion of the College World Series. 3 players still on rosters that are still alive trying to win a national title. So, of course, they're in those pursuits. And then after those are over, they'll come to the Cape Cod League.
First pitch fastball from Dunn to Trust Gonzalez for strike 1 right down Main Street. With a runner dancing off first, that's the speedy Jim Jarvis deking towards second, not going, and that one is lined into left field right under Smith. He's there to make the catch for out number 1. Well, you're right, the reinforcements are coming. There's some good and there is some bad with the circling turnstile that is summer baseball at the collegiate level. Sure, you're getting some really talented players, but that means that some have to go, and some really talented players have to go as well.
Yeah, the temporary players and then, of course, the non-temporary players and the gymnastics that you have to do with the roster, putting pieces in, putting pieces out with the draft, with the College World Series. It's very interesting how the construction goes to put the best product on the field every night.
Owen Diodati has been quite the product in his own right. He has 4 RBIs on the day. A home run in the third drove in 3, and an RBI single for the first run of the day, in the first inning. He's 2 for 3. Ross Dunn misses low on the changeup for ball 1.
And has some good power. That was his second home run of the year here this summer, just through his third game played, and had double-digit home runs at Alabama this past spring.
Dunn takes a deep breath, comes set at the belt, deals, and the changeup had him fooled. Low in the zone, he chased, 1-1 the count.
And a lot of times the lefties out of the pen, hard fastball, good slider, but this changeup from Dunn has really shown well.
Dunn, the lefty from Florida State, staring down Jarvis at first, goes towards home, and a low changeup again. The hitter, Diodati, just could not resist. It's in the dirt. He swings anyway. A ball and 2 strikes with 1 out.
And as a lefty, when you're going up against another lefty and you can use your off-speed pitch, especially moving away from the hitter, it's fooling the left-handed hitter, Diodati, who's hitting in the meat of this Wareham order.
And the 1-2 is swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Ross Dunn made mincemeat of Diodati.
And how about to do your job? Dunn comes in, puts in some good innings of work, takes care of the lefty. He went breaking ball, and then the fastball. Great at bat right there against a guy who can really hit. Had the home run earlier, had 2 hits this game, and makes work of him on strike 3. So good outing for Dunn, Brad.
Ross Dunn's night is done. 2 outs and 1 other pitcher on the docket here in the 7th inning. It's CJ Culpepper. We'll tell you everything you need to know on the other side. Back here on the bottom of the 7th, and fresh meat for the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox, down by 6 with 2 outs. CJ Culpepper with his first appearance as a Red Sox, a freshman from Cal Baptist, and he has really burst on the scene recently. He improved his ERA from 8.68 in 2020 to get this 3.3 in 2021, and a low pitch in the dirt smothered by Gonzalez, but not enough to hold the runner at first, and on to second is Jim Jarvis in scoring position.
You talk about the fresh meat. He was a guy who came into the game, slammed the door shut this spring. 13 saves, which was the second most in Division I in the regular season. He's a guy who came in and slammed the door. Great closer.
The 1-0 to the third baseman, Williams. Fastball right down the pipe for strike one. Well, C.J. Culpepper started baseball at age 2. And this past winter break just worked on being explosive towards the plate, adding some velo to that fastball. 1-1 the count. Culpepper working from the stretch. Jarvis fakes the steal on the changeup. Had the hitter Williams looking silly. He was way out in front, a ball and 2 strikes.
Added velo to the fastball, but more added attention as well. Great prospect, and also was the WAC Freshman of the Year. Added some accolades to his name as well. Had a great season this past year. Just eye-popping numbers, Brad.
And Williams chops it foul back to the Yarmouth Dennis dugout on the left side, so we'll do it again. Now, Williams singled and scored a run in the 6th inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Makes him 3 for 11 on the young year. YD down 6-0, bottom of the 7th inning. Culpepper in his first bit of work as a Red Sox steps off and has Jim Jarvis scurrying back to second. Justin Williams steps back into the right-handed batter's box. Righty-righty matchup. Culpepper looking back at Jarvis, steps towards home and deals. Strike 3 called. Fastball taken right down the pipe. Side retired. So C.J. Culpepper comes in for one batter in the 7th and gets that batter on a backwards K. YD limits the damage, a 0 in the bottom of the 7th inning. And at the end of 7, it's YD down by 6. This break brought to you by Milton Cat. For sales and rentals of Caterpillar machinery, generators, and marine engines, visit miltoncat.com, your area cat dealer. Back here on the Yarmouth Dennis Baseball Network, Brad Klein and Will Connerly in the top of the 8th inning in Wareham, Massachusetts, and YD has been stifled. No runs, down by 6th, and Cole Simus is still dealing for the Gateman.
And he just came in and really just shut the door. He's done a really good job of getting hitters out at a high level, coming out of the bullpen, and doing a nice job, Brad. He's kept the YD offense off balance, and it's not been their day today.
And makes quick work of the off-balance Tyler Williams. 3 pitches and a strikeout. Tyler Williams goes down swinging for his 2nd K of the day. 1 away in the top of the 8th inning.
Somewhere in Jersey. My phone's iPhone. Somewhere.
So 1 out for Tanner Smith, the Oregonian. Got his first hit as a Red Sox in the 3rd inning. It was a double, but he was stranded on 3rd base, and that was a point in the game that was, for many people, a turning point. At that point, Wareham had no runs. They go back in the next frame. They score 3. or excuse me, they had 1 run. They go back in the next frame, score 3. And Tanner Smith was just kicking this gray dirt, waiting to be brought home.
It was a dagger for sure. A tough situation when you can get that leadoff double, get the guy to third and not bring him in.
The 1-1 to Smith, popped foul over our heads down the third base line, out of play. Well, Smith is the last runner that was in scoring position for YD, and moreover, he's the only runner in scoring position for YD all game. And Smith watches the breaking ball just miss inside, count even at 2-2 now.
Yeah, sorry about that, but the trend today has been limiting the hits just like yesterday, Brad. They've struggled to find the ground, find anywhere open space to get this. Just 3 today once again, Brad.
And Smith pops it up down the third base line near us. I'm not going to get it. Instead, it's going to be grabbed by Williams for out number 2.
You said if a ball does come your way, though, you're for sure going to try to get it and call the play-by-play, right?
Well, that was my attempt.
Yes.
That's the closest I've come, and it is potentially the closest I will come. For any of you who did not hear, my goal in the CCBL season is this: that I catch a fly ball and that I don't freak out while it's happening. And instead, I call it like it's nothing. That one's popped up down the third base line. I'm under it. I make the grab for a foul ball. So that's the goal. It's about the little things in life. Either way, a pop out to the third baseman makes it 2 outs, no one on. Whitey's still down by 6 for a swinging Wyatt Hoffman at the second pitch breaking ball in the dirt, count even at 1-1 as Simus missed high on the fastball on that first pitch. Cole Simus has been dealing all day. And the slider again slices the zone, strike 2.
He looks really good, and it's fun to watch when these pitchers go out. All the guns come up, all the scouts take notes like you mentioned, but he's really putting on a show today for Wareham, just putting a blank on this offense for YD.
He's scared of the dark.
He used to do ballet.
7.
A ball and 2 strikes to from Cole Simus to Wyatt Hoffman. And Hoffman watches the fastball just out. Count is full. Base is empty. Hoffman in a staring contest with Simus. And Hoffman watches the slider just high. My apologies. Now the count is full. Scoreboard operator was off, and I blame him.
Oh, no, don't.
Never take accountability.
Never.
I thought you meant the
Count is full now. I promise, to Wyatt Hoffman. Payoff pitch. Swung on, popped up, shallow right field. The second baseman Jarvis is budgeting with Karn, and Karn calls him off, side retired. Well, in the middle of the 8th, YD has still been stifled. No runs to show for their 3 hits. And in the middle of the 8th, it's the Gateman 6, the Red Sox 0. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, and this break is brought to you by Devidime. Hey fans, Devidime is the official website developmental company of the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. They designed and developed our league best website and helped us with marketing to bring more fans to the games and more visitors to our website. Devidime helps organizations generate more leads and maximize their marketing budget. Check out Devidime.com to learn more, and be sure to like Devidime on Facebook. That's DEVADIGM.com. Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein happy to be side by side with Will Connerly and CJ Culpepper on in his second inning of work, second inning of his young Red Sox career, and a first pitch fastball swung and fouled back to the screen by Ted Burton. Burton singled to left center field in the sixth inning. He's 1 for 3 on the day, 2 groundouts. And the Cal Baptist product bounces a fastball off the plate for ball 1.
Cal Baptist, just interesting school. They just recently became a Division I team, but they've had a ton of success in their first 2 years at the D1 level. Culpepper, same story.
And the changeup misses inside, 2-1 the count. Well, at 6'3", 193, a guy who scrapes the low 90s, I will say the most impressive thing to me about CJ Culpepper so far, the flow.
I thought you were going to head that direction. Has the good flow. As a closer for Cal Baptist, you got to have the flow. What about a Josh Hader type flow? You know, they bring those for the back end of the pen. You need to have some good flow.
3-1 the count now after the low changeup, and Culpepper from the windup kicks and deals. Fastball swung through by Burton, the designated hitter. Count is full now. Well, I'll tell you what. Flow is defined differently in different sports.
You don't have to have it.
So it's flow on the mound.
Right.
But you know what they call that in lacrosse?
Lettuce.
Lettuce.
Yes.
Good for you. And a payoff pitch fastball swung through and missed. Strike 3, 1 away.
You know what they call
in
that?
the bottom of the 8th.
You know what they call that?
A strikeout?
Cheddar. Yeah, that was firm up in the zone.
So the second consecutive strikeout for Culpepper and the third consecutive strikeout for YD as a team. And now Pickler comes on for a mountain visit. Culpepper knew it. Hands the ball off to his skipper, and now a fresh arm coming out of the bullpen. This break is brought to you by the Salty Dog Group as YD trails by 6. Hey, Sox fans, have you ever thought about buying or selling a home? Emily Sheminsky of the Salty Dog Group is your pet-friendly neighborhood realtor. As part of the team at Keller Williams Realty of Cape Cod and the Islands, Emily is your go-to resource for buying and selling. And call Emily Sheminsky 508-221-0196 or visit thesaltydoggroup.kw.com. Back here on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, the first time either one of us can say this, enter Andrew Marrero, the UConn product, in the bottom of the 8th inning as YD trails 6-0, and Marrero working from the windup with 1 out, courtesy of the CJ Culpepper strikeout. Jimmy Crooks, the catcher, at the dish. And the first pitch fastball misses outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Marrero out of UConn from New Haven, and just had a really good season in his first year and has a really bright future with UConn. Projects to be their future closer.
Good friends and roommates with Pat Gallagher, YD's scheduled Saturday starter. As Marrero misses again on the fastball, 2-0 the count.
Has A lot of eyes on Marrero this summer. Has an arm that projects to be picked in the MLB draft at some point this year or in years to come.
Having trouble locating that fastball, though. 3 straight fastballs, all have missed. That last one high. So Andrew Marrero, like you said, from New Haven, 5'10", 189. He actually told me before the game that his doctor promised him he'd be 6 foot, 6'1". That didn't happen. Didn't come to fruition.
And he was upset about it.
Well, if you can throw 91, 92, I think you've recompensed.
Yeah, he can throw hard. Good stuff. Good slider. Really like him, too. Really nice guy, outgoing kid, and it's fun to watch him work.
After that 3-0 slider that nicked the zone, a heater right down the middle for strike 2. So he claws his way back from 3-0 to a full count now. Bases empty, 1 out, and YD still trails 6-0. Jimmy Crooks scored a run after reaching on a fielder's choice in the 6th inning. And now the payoff pitch, and Crooks pops it foul out of play over the middle school.
Marrero really found a groove this year. He found out his stuff. He got rolling, had 10 consecutive scoreless outings for UConn this year at a stretch where he just went on a tear and locked in, and definitely has an arm with good velocity that projects as a very high ceiling.
And the payoff pitch from Marrero, taken upstairs, ball 4. So a 1-out walk for Jimmy Crooks as Andrew Marrero allows a free pass after going down 3-0 in the count to start. And Angelo Despina, 1 for 3 on the day, the first baseman at the dish. Marrero was a key piece out of the bullpen. 18 appearances for UConn this past year. Fastball letter high, and just right through it goes Despina for strike 1. And he was not happy about missing that fastball either. You could see him just whack his arm saying, yeah, I missed that. The body language was loud. It was deafening. No balls, 1 strike. Marrero working from the stretch, kicks and deals. That one low and in the dirt, actually off the ankle of Despina. Now he hobbles down the first base line after a free pass. So 2 consecutive free passes, the walk to Crooks, and now the hit by pitch on the front door slider to Despina puts runners on first and second with 1 out for Cade Kern.
Yeah, tough right there. You know he's been struggling here in his first outing to find that command and lock in the zone. And unfortunately, it goes in and it's able to hit the batter. It nicks the batter right there. So you got to work out of a jam now, and interesting to see how he can do that. You know, as a reliever, pitching with runners on base is very crucial, and leaving runners on base, your left on base percentage, something you can look at. How clutch can you be coming out of the bullpen? And he's a guy who's going to be used in those back end situations.
So a clean count to Cade Kern. 1 for 3 today with an RBI single in the 6th inning. Drove in 2 runs. It's Despina on first, Crooks on second. Marrero looks in for the sign as Cade Kern, the right fielder, steps into the right-handed batter's box. Wareham up 6-0. Marrero crouched in from the stretch with his shoulders slumped, kicks and deals. Fastball ankle high, ball 1.
That's a good way to describe it, how he does come set. Feet are really close to each other, kind of curled in there.
And the shoulders curled in.
That's how he can kind of hide the ball as well. Sometimes with a runner on second, they can peek in, but he hides all of that, and how he comes set.
A ball and no strikes. Marrero again, fastball in the dirt. That one blocked by Gonzalez. He flips the mask and keeps the runners put. Both retreat. Crooks back to second. Despina back to first. 2 balls, no strikes with 1 out.
Marrero, someone who has a lot of intent. His mechanics, his velocity, he's going to use that 100%, max effort.
Gets the sign from Gonzalez. The 2-0. Whacked up the middle into center field. That's a base hit. Line drive fielded by Williams. 1 run comes around to score. The throw over from Williams to third, not in time. It's an RBI double for Cade Kern, and Wareham has added a 7th run. So Andrew Marrero, in his first appearance as a Red Sox, gives up a walk, a hit batsman, and an RBI double. And now Tom Vasella, the pitching coach, out to have a word. And a sticky situation. Marrero only adding some Elmers here.
Adding some Elmers?
It's glue.
You mentioned Elmers on the broadcast yesterday as well.
I'm an Elmers guy. What can I say?
You're an Elmers guy.
Well, here's
you
the deal.
said I was an Elmers guy.
That's true. Well, here's the deal, though. Give me another brand of glue. I know they're out there. Elmer's comes to mind. That's why.
I'm hearing Gorilla.
Gorilla Glue. That's fair. Spider Tack, I heard out of
the
my
peanut
left ear.
gallery around us giving us some good good suggestions.
So it's actually a single, and advancing on the throw is Cade Kern. Despina on third base after Crooks comes home to score. And Cody Jeffries, the shortstop, in an 0-1 hole, making an 0-2 hole. 2 straight fastballs. Marrero not wasting any time attacking the strike zone after that quick conference with Vasella.
He's locked back in, and sometimes that's all you need, a reset, take a deep breath, and lock back into the catcher's glove. You're playing some catch, trying to work on your stuff right here. Despite what the score is, he's trying to put his best foot forward. Everyone is every pitch.
The 0-2 taken upstairs, stands the catcher Gonzalez up way high, ball 1. So YD trails 7-0 now. It's been all Wareham all the time. The offense, a big talking point for the Red Sox, only with 3 hits today, 3 hits yesterday. They were able to survive that yesterday with some timely hitting, namely by Briley Knight, as the low slider was taken in the dirt for ball 2. A check swing didn't go. Strong wrists by Cody Jeffries. And that slider really with the grip of a curveball, but he told me that it's really a curveball he throws too hard, so it works the same as a slider.
A lot of guys that throw hard from 3/4 angle, even if it is a curveball, it works as a slider.
2-2 whacked foul out of play. He calls it a slider, but it really is just a too quick curveball. It clocks in at about 87. So Andrew Marrero bringing some heat on the secondary stuff. He actually learned the pitch from a teammate of his who was killed in a drive-by at age 16 and carries it in his arsenal. 2-2 fastball misses high. Again, Gonzalez has to stand up. So now the count is full with one out and a runner on second and third. Wareham still leading 7-0.
Yeah, Marrero has an incredible story, and I know we'll get into that throughout the season and the way he's come from New Haven to put his best foot forward at UConn, now to the Cape. It's really fun to see him work.
Payoff pitch again misses high, ball 4. So Andrew Marrero is yet to record an out. Leadoff walk, then a hit batsman. A single advance on the throw did Cade Kern. He's now on second, and Cody Jeffries is on first after a 1-out walk. Brings up the top of the order. That's Jim Jarvis, who has been a bugaboo for this YD pitching staff. Leadoff single in the first, ended up scoring a run. Scored again in the third after reaching on an error. Grounded out in the fifth. That was Meyer's little vengeance there, and walked in the 7th. First pitch fastball again, misses wide, ball 1. And the 1-0 on the outside corner, count even. Well, no action in the YD bullpen. Andrew Marrero is the last pitcher to see work for YD. Well, actually, scratch that. Some preliminary action in the bullpen behind Marrero.
You were blocked. Someone set a screen. You couldn't see for a second. But it looks like there might be a tad bit of action.
2 balls and a strike now to Marrero, but I stand by what I said. He is the last pitcher to hear his name called. 2-1, swing and a miss. Big wave by Jarvis there. So Marrero would love to induce a ground ball, something he did a lot of at UConn thanks to that slider curveball, whatever you want to call it. It's Despina on third, Kern on second, Jeffries on first with 1 out. 2-2. Swing and a miss, got him on the fastball, and Jim Jarvis goes down swinging for out number 2.
And that was firm. He let that one eat, and Marrero, I know you call it the slider, the curveball, but when you can break off that thing, I call it that thing, that breaking ball, and then throw a fastball just firm 90 plus, I mean, just right down the middle, no chance for the hitter.
So with 2 outs, it's Tres Gonzalez, and with the bases loaded, Marrero goes to the windup with 2 outs. The fastball misses outside, ball 1. Wareham still leads 7-0, chance to really erupt on this game. YD does have the top of the order due up in the top of the 9th. The 1-0 from Marrero taken down the middle for strike 1. Gonzalez scored a run after walking in the 3rd inning. Other than that, he's 0 for 3. Seven, 8, 9 on the base paths. Despina on third, Kern on second, Jeffries on first with 2 out. The 1-1 swung through. The fastball got him again. Strike 2. So Andrew Marrero now clawing his way back with ducks on the pond, and it's the fastball that has found some success.
The fastball has found a ton of success. The hitters are really struggling to catch up to it. He's overpowering the hitters here in this inning.
The 1-2 from Marrero from the windup. Fastball again, knee high, but just low. And Marrero wanted that. Snares it on the throw back from Fernando Gonzalez. He really thought that was 3.
Really close right there, but a chance here to put him away.
2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. 3 runners on. Marrero deals, swing and a miss. Strike 3, got him on the high cheddar. Side retired. Well, technically a YD struck out the side with a strikeout from Culpepper to start the frame. Marrero got 2 back-to-back for outs number 2 and 3. And YD only giving up 1 run, stranding 3 in the 8th inning. 1, 2, and 3 due up in the top of the 9th as YD trails by 7. You're listening to YD Red Sox Baseball on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network. Back on the YD Red Sox Baseball Network, Brad Klein with Will Connerly, and the wind is starting to pick up. No real imminent threat of rain as there was yesterday, but YD has been poured on today. Down by 7, top of the 9th inning, and Paul Skeens on in relief for Wareham. And the silver lining for YD is that Peyton Graham, the one-hitter, is leading off. Took a first pitch fastball for strike 1, second pitch fastball over his head, ball 1.
And they've also had the opportunity to get pitchers in the game today and see what else they have in that pitching staff, what's in the arsenal.
Grounded sharply through the hole on the left side, base hit into left field. Peyton Graham with his first hit of the day. He's now 1 for 4, a leadoff single for YD.
And speaking of YD, they brought a decent crowd. You haven't heard a ton of cheering today. Of course, the offense hasn't been great, but you see some cheering on that hit from Graham right there. Maybe he can start some things off, Brad, in the 9th.
That's how the comeback could start. So Skeens from Air Force, actually. A fastball induced a check swing and a strike by Briley Knight as he went around on the high fastball. So Skeens, actually a two-way player. Right-handed pitcher by night, catcher by day. So either way, he's in the battery. Another fastball blown by Knight for strike 2. Actually hit .410 this past year for the Falcons. And the 0-2, swing and a miss, 3 fastballs, 3 strikes, 3 swings, and Knight with a long walk back to the dugout for out number 1. That's his second strikeout of the day, so Skeens doing a pretty good job relieving a pitcher who did a very good job. Cole Symes, 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts. He was unhittable.
On 52 pitches through 4 innings, he was really good. San Diego State product. He really put on a show today and shut down the Red Sox.
Uncompetitive swing by a reluctant Brooks Lee on the first pitch fastball. 0-1 the count with 1 out. Peyton Graham with a very modest lead off of first base, but Despina not even bothering to hold him on. And the breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. YD down by 7. Top of the 9th inning. They have 4 hits to their name, 7 in the past, you can call it about 16 innings now.
Yes, they've been struggling to find some hits, but you know this lineup will come together, and of course the team will get some more players shuffling in as well in the coming weeks.
And Brooks Lee hit his back on the backswing as he tipped it into the mitt of Cirillo, the new catcher for the Gatemen. Looks to be okay. 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And Skeens comes set, working from the stretch. Ground ball to the right side. And the first baseman, Despina, ranging to his right. Bobbled it, gets it over to first in time from his back. Oh, what a play by Despina for out number 2. A great cover by Skeens. And all of a sudden, the Gatemen are just 1 out away as Peyton Graham advances to second.
My jaw dropped on that one. That was a really good play right there. First off, it bobbled, right? Then the pitcher had to go over. But it was one of those situations where the first baseman makes the decision, pitcher's got to get over. Got over in time, but that's a really good play to stop that ball, stay with it, and for the pitcher who had to run straight there, you couldn't do no banana peel there with Brooks Lee running, and ended up getting the batter out. That's a pretty good play right there.
So with a runner on second and 2 outs, it's all up to Chase Luttrell now. Waves at the first pitch, change up, strike 1. Luttrell has 2 hits on the day, 1 for 3 with a fly out in the 4th, 2 singles. And Skeens, the 6'6" freshman, sophomore from Lake Forest, California, deals Latrell again just could not catch up to that fastball, and now YD is down to their final strike. The Wareham fans can smell it, cheering on Skeens for this long-awaited 27th out. Graham on second, no balls, 2 strikes to Latrell with 2 gone. Skeens from the stretch, deals, popped up, foul out of play down the left field line, and we'll do it again.
The 27th out. Difficult one to get. Latrell trying to put up a fight.
Should be noted, I mentioned that Skeens had a .410 batting average, also had a 2.7 ERA as the Falcons' closer in 26 2/3 worked. 11 saves, 30 strikeouts, only 9 walks. The 0-2. Popped up down the third base line. Is it fair? Is it foul? It is fair. An RBI single for Chase Latrell as Peyton Graham was running on contact with 2 outs. And Latrell has another single, his third of the day. Windy is on the board, 7-1 the score. Even though the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox are just 1 out away from their first loss of the season.
They're 1 strike away. Latrell with a foul ball, fighting things off, and then dropping it in on the left side.
So now Latrell on first base, Drew Compton at the dish. 1 for 8 in his young YD career. Checked his swing and laid off the high fastball, let her high, ball 1. The past 2 at-bats for Compton have resulted in swinging strikeouts. And Compton again checked his swing. Again, it's off the plate, and again, it's ball 2.
Some 2-out magic maybe in store for YD.
Latrell with an unhindered lead off of first base by about 15 feet. Despina playing well behind him. The 2-0. Fastball clips the outside corner, 2-1 the count. Should be noted, Wareham is yet to win a game this year, 0-2 with a cancellation due to rain yesterday. 2 balls and a strike. Runner goes, popped up, shallow center field, on comes Gonzalez. He has to play it on 1 hop. Latrell was running on the pitch. He's on third. First and third after the single by Drew Compton, and YD shows a pulse in the top of the 9th.
Pinch hitter now coming up for the Red Sox. You got runners on the corners, 2 outs. They're staying alive, and they're not making it easy here on Skeens.
So it's Nate Baez now, who originally was supposed to have the day off. Not exactly sure what might be ailing him, but I saw the trainer working on his right shoulder before the game. Now he comes in as a pinch hitter, and the Arizona State Sun Devil watches the fastball sail high for ball 1. So YD with 3 hits in the past 5 batters. And before this inning, they had 3 hits in the game.
And only 3 hits yesterday, so the bats coming alive late. This has been a theme, though, Brad. Game 1, they came back late. Game 2, they scored late. Yesterday it was early, but maybe they are becoming late inning.
Baez on 1-0 is just browsing for strike 1. The fastball was right down Broadway.
You know, a team that wants to turn it on at the end, but it seems like it's a too little, too late situation with a big hill to climb here in the 9th.
Let's see what Baez has to say. Grounds it up the middle. Jeffries, the shortstop, stomps on second in time to beat the speedy runner Compton, and that is it. YD swallows a 7-1 pill, their first loss of the season. Wareham pieces together a wire-to-wire performance. Outstanding look for the Gatemen on their home field. Your final score, YD down 6. 7-1, the Gatemen win. And high fives to the Gatemen, their first win of the year. YD with their first loss, and it was bound to happen, but the Yarmouth Dennis pitching was finally vulnerable.
They were. Gateman got some hits, but I thought when you break it down, Adam Meyer put together a pretty good start. 1 bad pitch, 3 of the 4 runs that he led up, then responded, let down 9 in a row. But yes, vulnerable, and there's stuff to unpack from this game, but taking a loss on the road and the team comes home.
So we're breaking it down now on the post-game show. YD loses 7-1 in Wareham. It's going to be a long bus ride home. And you look at the starter, Adam Meyer. First time he's pitched since March of 2020, which might have had something to do with his early struggles. Gave up that run in the first inning, calmed down a little bit, but 3 runs on a 3-run home run in the third inning. It came from Owen Diodati. It was a shot and a half to right center field. We knew it was gone off the bat, but Meyer actually calmed himself down after that. That was pretty impressive.
Yeah, Meyer to respond after you're down 4-0 to retire the gateman when they've already seen you throughout the lineup one time. You go retire the gateman, 9 up, 9 down. That's a great way to respond after letting up the home run. So he did that in a solid fashion. That's another check mark, another starter who gave you a shot, who went deep into a game. Through the first 4 games, that's what they've been able to do, Brad. They've been able to give you a shot, and with the team and the off day tomorrow, you still got some solid arms getting ready to throw as we progress throughout the end of this first week of the Cape League season.
Despite Meyer picking himself up after he was down, he does get the loss. The win goes to Cole Symes. 4 innings of relief work, 1 hit, no runs, 7 strikeouts. He was unstoppable.
He looks really good. He had us off balance. He had the Red Sox off balance. The entire time he was out there, he was really in good command of the strike zone. No walks, 52 pitches, 4 innings pitched. Really in complete control today, and it was impressive to see that product out of San Diego State. Had a great performance.
So now YD, I mentioned long bus ride home after a 7-1 loss on the road in Wareham, but you'd have to think that if there is a silver lining, it would be that good taste left in their mouth. The Bats actually woke up in the 9th inning.
The Bats woke up in the 9th inning. They were able to get some things going, get a run across, not get shut out, and that was nice to see for YD. They're able to progress in that fashion.
Well, that does it here from Wareham. Brad Klein and Will Connerly signing off for a little while. We have the day off on Thursday. Back at it again on Friday. We'll have plenty of coverage for you leading up to that first pitch. Brad Klein, Will Connerly signing off here from Wareham.